What's up, guitar players? This is Jen, and today's lesson we're going to talk about how you can jazz up your pentatonic minor scales using chromatic notes. So it sounds like a lot of big words and a lot of things like, I don't know, you might feel like you get vertigo from like chromatic and pentatonic and jazz and whatnot. I know I did when I was learning. But it's actually not that big of a deal, and it's really, really cool. And it makes you sound like you know a lot more than you actually do. And I have made a career off of that. So we're going to do the A minor pentatonic here. You know it. You love it. Just like that. If you don't know it, here's a quick review. So we've got 5th fret, so you got 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. And you resolve here. That's A minor pentatonic. Now, what's cool about the pentatonic is you have all these notes in between your notes that you normally play, right? So especially for these 5 7s, you have the 6 in here. Now, that's going to create a lot of tension, so you want to use it as a passing tone, which means go quickly through it. Don't just hang out on this note. You want to do, instead of just, which sounds nice, but this gives it a little more tension. So really, all you have to do is play chromatic in between your pentatonic notes. Now, the important thing is that you resolve on a pentatonic note. Because again, if you don't, it's going to sound bad. It's going to sound so bad. But let me show you what that would sound like in the context of a chord progression. So this is just going to be A minor 7 to D minor 7, D minor 9. I've got this little loop going. Oh yeah, pre-recorded. All Jen, all the time. Here we go. So pentatonic. And that sounds nice, right? Nothing wrong with it. Straight pentatonic. Now let's add those chromatics. All right? So notice that I keep resolving on a pentatonic note. Right? That's pentatonic. Because if I resolve, that's pretty harsh. But it can be cool if you know how to use it. Now you want to go back and forth between. Because you don't want it to be too pentatonic-y, but you also don't want it to be because that gets a little bit annoying after a while, right? Kind of like me playing, kind of like that loop got a little bit annoying. But so what I encourage you to do is try to find those little lines where it does work. Another thing that's really fun with chromatics is you've got your first finger that stays in this 5th fret, right, when you're in a pentatonic. So it always comes back to that first finger. Well, what's cool is you can actually go half step back. Oh yeah. And any note, so you're just doing 5, 4, 5. And that's going to give you like a jazzy, bluesy sound. So let's hear what that sounds like. Here we go. combining here. Here's some pentatonic. Sliding back. Chromatic. Sliding back. So that just gives you an idea of how to mess with pentatonic using chromatic, and it just sounds a little bit more interesting. But what's nice is it's not like you really have to know how each note is playing on each chord. So that's a nice intro into to be able to play a little more jazzy or a little more interesting. And then remember, if you change keys, so if you're in the key of G minor, right, not A minor, it's the exact same thing. I'm going to learn how to play one of these days. You know, or C minor. It's all there for you. But just remember, try to land on those pentatonic notes. That's going to be really, really important to finishing out the phrase, because it creates all this tension, and then you want to land on the right note to resolve that tension, or it just sounds like you kind of don't know what you're doing. Kind of like the way that I talk. You know, like when I talk a bunch, and then it doesn't land anywhere, and it doesn't make any sense in the end. That's, if you land on a bad note, then you're like, oh, I just pulled a gin. I just pulled a gin. And you don't want to do that. You can talk a bunch, like me. You can do a lot of talk about your hair, talk about your tattoos, talk about your cats. But then say, okay, nice seeing you. I'll talk to you later. You know, end it. Put a period on it. Speaking of which, I think that's it for this lesson. As always, this is a Patreon-supported video. My patrons are awesome. I almost said a bad word, but I stopped myself. But I got excited. I got really excited about my patrons. So thank you to my patrons for supporting another one of my videos. I really appreciate it. And if you want to support one of these fantastic, entertaining, just amazing quality videos that I'm doing in a garage, a makeshift garage, then please go to patreon.com/JenTrani, and you can see all the ways to support and all the ways that you can get rewarded for supporting. So thank you so much. Let me know how everything goes. You got this. Try it out.